Hello, and welcome back to Human Behavior Lab. I'm New York, your host and observer. Today, we're examining something that has become a defining feature of our digital age, the phenomenon of going viral.
Oh, I know all about that. My cousin's dog video got like 50,000 views once. He wouldn't stop talking about it for weeks.
A relatable example. But today, we're looking beyond the surface. We have collected several recent news stories about viral phenomena, some uplifting, some cautionary. What they share is this: they reveal the hidden structures of human attention.
So we're not just talking about how to go viral, we're looking at what happens after.
Precisely. We analyze why people react the way they do, and what happens when the collective gaze of the internet turns toward ordinary people and places. Let us begin with a story that shows the shadow side of viral attention. Our first case comes from Baltimore. Several restaurants experienced sudden viral fame on social media. The headline asks a pointed question: was it a blessing or a curse?
Wait, I feel like everyone assumes going viral is always good. Like free marketing, right? More customers means more money.
That is the common assumption. However, the reality described in this article is more complex. When a small business goes viral, the sudden surge of customers can exceed operational capacity by orders of magnitude.
So, too much of a good thing?
In behavioral economics, this relates to what we call scaling failure. A restaurant designed to serve 100 customers suddenly receives 1,000. The infrastructure, staffing, supply chains, physical space cannot adapt quickly enough.
And then what? People get mad because the service is slow?
That is one outcome. But more insidiously, the viral attention often brings customers with different expectations. Viral content creates what psychologists call anticipatory elevation. Viewers imagine an experience far better than reality can deliver.
So people see this amazing-looking food on TikTok, drive hours to get there, and then the real thing can't possibly match what they built up in their heads?
Exactly. This creates a gap between expectation and reality. In psychology, we call this expectation disconfirmation. When reality falls short of elevated expectations, the emotional response is disproportionately negative.
That's kind of sad, actually. These restaurant owners probably dreamed of success, and then when it comes, it hurts them?
There is another factor at play. The article describes how viral attention can transform a local establishment's identity. Regular customers, who valued the restaurant for its community feel, may feel displaced by the influx of content tourists.
Content tourists? I've been one of those, haven't I? Going somewhere just because I saw it online?
It is a common behavior. The motivation shifts from "I want good food" to "I want to participate in a shared cultural moment." The restaurant becomes less a place to eat and more a prop for social media content.
That's a weird way to think about it. The restaurant isn't even the point anymore?
In some cases, yes. This is what sociologists call commodification of experience. The viral object, whether a restaurant, a destination, or a person, becomes a token in a social game. Its original purpose becomes secondary.
So going viral can actually ruin what made something special in the first place?
That is one possible outcome. However, viral attention is not inherently destructive. The outcome depends largely on what is being amplified and why. Which brings us to our next case, a story where viral attention created something profoundly positive. Our second case comes from a story titled "Viral Social Media Post Helps Preserve Decades of Jewish History." A single post on social media led to the preservation of historical documents and photographs that might otherwise have been lost.
Okay, this sounds more like the good side of going viral. What happened?
The details involve a family connection to Jewish history that was fading from memory. A social media post circulated, strangers recognized the significance, and through collective action, historical materials were located and preserved.
Strangers just helped because they saw a post online?
This demonstrates what we call collective intelligence combined with emotional resonance. The post didn't just convey information, it created an emotional connection that motivated action.
So why does this work sometimes and not others? Like, why did people help preserve history instead of just scrolling past?
Several psychological factors converged. First, the content had what researchers call narrative transportation, a compelling story that draws people in. Second, it offered what we call efficacy, a clear way for individuals to help.
Efficacy? You mean people felt like they could actually do something?
Precisely. Many viral phenomena create emotional response without actionable outlet. People feel something, but cannot channel that feeling into meaningful action. This case was different. Those who felt moved could contribute concretely.
And that made the difference between, wow, sad story, and let me help?
That is part of it. There is also the matter of identity alignment. For many who engaged with this post, preserving Jewish history connected to their sense of who they are, whether through heritage, faith, or values.
So people shared it because it felt like it was about them, in a way?
When content aligns with identity, sharing becomes a form of self-expression. We see this across viral phenomena. People share what reinforces their sense of self. This is called identity signaling.
That's fascinating. So the same mechanism that makes people share political stuff or sports stuff also made them share this history preservation story.
The underlying psychology is the same. What differs is the content and its social meaning. This brings us to an important observation: viral mechanisms are neutral. The outcomes, positive or negative, depend on what is being amplified.
So going viral isn't good or bad by itself. It's what happens after that matters?
And what is being amplified, and why people choose to share it. Which leads us to the deeper question: what actually makes something go viral? We observed two contrasting cases. Now let us examine the mechanisms underneath. Why do humans collectively amplify certain content while ignoring most of what they encounter?
I've always wondered about this. Like, why did that one random tweet get 1 million likes while important news gets nothing?
Research identifies several key factors. The first is emotional intensity. Content that triggers strong emotions, whether positive or negative, spreads faster than emotionally neutral content.
So outrage is just as viral as joy?
In some contexts, outrage spreads faster. Studies show that moral outrage, anger at perceived injustice, is particularly shareable because it serves dual purposes. It signals the sharer's values and invites others to join collective condemnation.
That explains a lot about the internet, honestly.
The second factor is social proof. When people see that others are sharing something, they become more likely to share it themselves. This creates a feedback loop. Initial shares beget more shares.
Like a snowball rolling downhill?
An apt metaphor. This is compounded by what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. When content appears to be everywhere, people feel pressure to engage with it, to remain culturally literate.
I've definitely shared things just so I knew what everyone was talking about.
The third factor is parasocial connection. Content that features relatable people or creates a sense of intimacy spreads more readily. This explains why personal stories often outperform institutional announcements.
Wait, is that why that baseball player's toothpaste video went viral? The one in our news sources?
An excellent connection. Bryce Harper, a professional athlete, posted a video about toothpaste, a mundane topic. Yet it went viral precisely because of the contrast between his public status and the ordinariness of the content.
So people shared it because it was relatable? A famous guy doing normal stuff?
The psychological term is parasocial intimacy. When public figures share mundane aspects of their lives, it creates a false sense of closeness. Viewers feel they know the person, which strengthens engagement and sharing behavior.
False sense of closeness. That sounds kind of manipulative.
Not necessarily intentionally so. The athlete may simply be sharing authentically. But the viewer's brain responds to cues of intimacy regardless of intent. This is how our social cognition evolved. Small, personal details signal trustworthiness.
Our brains aren't really built for this kind of one-way intimacy, are they?
Evolution did not prepare us for mass media. Our social cognition developed in small groups where personal disclosure meant actual relationship. Today, the same mechanisms activate at scale, often without corresponding genuine connection.
That's actually kind of sad. We're built for real connection, but we're getting simulated versions?
This brings us to our final consideration. What does viral culture mean for human welfare? We have examined cases where viral attention overwhelmed small businesses and cases where it preserved history. We have explored why humans amplify content. Now we must ask, what are the broader implications?
It feels like we're all just caught in this system. We share things without thinking about why, and then real people get affected.
The attention economy operates on human psychological vulnerabilities. Platforms are designed to maximize engagement, often by triggering the mechanisms we discussed: emotional intensity, social proof, parasocial connection.
So we're kind of being manipulated?
I would frame it differently. We are participating in systems we do not fully understand. Awareness of the mechanisms is the first step toward more intentional participation.
What do you mean by more intentional?
Consider, before sharing content, one might pause to ask, why am I sharing this? What emotional state does it invoke? Does this contribute to the kind of information environment I want to exist in?
That's actually a lot to think about. I never really questioned why I share things.
Most people do not. Viral mechanisms operate largely outside conscious awareness. But understanding them creates the possibility of choice.
So going back to those restaurants, understanding this stuff might help us be better viral participants?
Precisely. We might choose to support local businesses without overwhelming them. We might amplify stories that deserve preservation rather than merely those that trigger outrage. The mechanisms are neutral. Our choices need not be.
I like that. We can't control what goes viral, but we can control how we participate in it.
A constructive conclusion. Viral phenomena will continue to shape our world. What remains within our power is how consciously we engage with them.
Thanks, New York. This actually changed how I think about all those viral posts I see every day.
That is the purpose of our observation. Until next time, continue to watch, to question, and to understand the hidden structures that shape human behavior.